Rolex just changed everything on their Daytona. Welcome back everyone to another episode, and I'm back from Watches and Wonders. I went hands-on with the Rolex novelties, especially the new Rolex Daytona. And as many of you know, there has been quite some speculations. What will Rolex do for the 60th anniversary of the Daytona line? We have a new 60th anniversary model. It's still a Platinum Daytona, still has an ice blue dial, and it still has the chestnut brownish bezel. However, things change if you turn the watch around. Namely, we have at least a first for the Daytona. Namely, we have an open caseback. Through this open caseback, which is only available on the Platinum Daytona, you can see the brand new 4131 movement. And this movement has been slightly updated with a better shock absorption, with better parts, but more importantly, a Côte de Genève finishing and a beautiful rotor that you can see through the open caseback of the Platinum model. The other models don't feature this open caseback. Nonetheless, they still have been updated quite a lot. One big change that I have noticed is that all models featuring a Cerachrome bezel now feature a ceramic inlay that is embedded or encased in the bezel. Because now we have the bezel being the same metal as the case of the watch, and it just acts as a protector of the Cerachrome inlay. Ceramic can be quite brittle, so if you hit it at the right edge, it will burst, and therefore I think it was quite a clever move to encase it, therefore avoiding a shattering of it. This new change is hardly noticeable on the wrist, and as you can see, for example, on the steel version of the Daytona, you will not really notice it. And for example, also on the gold versions, it's hardly noticeable at all. There has been a change on the dials as well, especially noticeable on the white dial version of the steel Daytona. Somewhat the subdials, the black ring of the subdials has gotten a bit smaller. The indices have changed as well, and the watch, due to the white dial, its size is actually enhanced and it kind of looks bigger on the wrist as it truly is. With the black version, you don't have this because you don't have this high contrast, but this leads me into another big change of the watch, and this is case sizes. For supposedly back for the older versions, the case sizes have been not the same as they were on paper. The Rolex Daytona always said 40 millimeters, but in fact, well, if you actually measure it, it was more of a 39-ish. But this only goes for the steel versions of the Daytona. The gold versions of the Daytona, they have been slightly bigger than the 40 millimeters. And now what Rolex did is they brought both of these in line, and therefore making the gold versions of the watch slightly smaller and the steel versions of the watch slightly bigger, which now actually makes the gold versions much more wearable, especially on smaller wrists like mine, and the steel versions much more wearable on bigger wrists such as yours. So I had the chance to try out all the different kinds of Daytonas. We had the platinum version, we had the steel and gold, the steel with the white dial. I had the yellow gold ceramic bezel Oyster Flex. I was able to try on the Everose version with the dark dial and the Everose subdials. And to be honest, all of these models were amazing. They felt great on the wrist, and perhaps my personal favorite would definitely be the Oyster Flex version. Not 100% sure if yellow gold or Everose gold, but I really like this. And now that the size is slightly smaller, the watch feels amazing on my wrist. I don't know why, but actually I fell in love. I really enjoyed these new watches. Let me know what you think about the new Rolex Daytona. Things have changed, and let me know if you prefer the old version or the new version. Put it down in the comments below. That's a quick update on the Daytona. Very interesting thing, and I think it's a valuable, good improvement of the watch. And this is something Rolex always does. They try to keep their icons great. As usual, if you feel like it, put a thumbs up. See you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.